Okay, so we are going to try to solve this equation. The first thing I will ask you before you solve it is to find the domain. And domain means that I'm asking you to find the x values that give you real answers. The only illegal operation we have learned in Math 100, and we will learn in Math 100, is division by 0. That cannot be done. So you have to make sure that your denominators are not 0. Now, x minus 8 is not 0 if x is any number except for 8. Right? X minus 4 is not 0 if x is anything but 4. And the other denominator is not 0 when x is... Okay, I don't know. I have to factor it to find that, right?
So that's not our domain though, the x and the, or the 8 and the 4, or they are.
No. The domain is all the numbers except for 8 and 4. Because the number 5, when you plug it in, the first fraction will be 5 and the denominator will be negative 3, normal number.
Okay.
When you plug in 5 in the second fraction, it will be 2 over 1. That's another normal number. Even when x is 0, the numbers are normal, because the first number is 0, the other number is 2 over negative 4, the fraction on the right is 56 over 32. That's fine. So 0 is fine. What happens with the denominator that is squared? How can you find when that is equal to 0?
Is it accurate?
Yes, if you set it equal to 0 and you factor it, and it's always going to come out to be the other two factors in this particular problem. When is this equal to 0?
When x is 8.
Is 8 or x is
4.
4. And if you want this to be different from 0, which is your main goal, x has to be different from 8 and different from 4. So the first question I will ask you is, what is the domain? And you will say the domain is x such that x is different from 8 and 4. Don't tell me that x is equal to 8 or 4, because these are the illegal values. Another thing you can write is all real numbers minus 4 comma 8, which is the solution set of all the denominators being equal to 0. So that's your first step. Your next step is to try to solve. How do we solve?
Do the AC.
We solve the rational expressions by eliminating denominators. To eliminate denominators, we change all fractions to fractions with common denominator.
So just multiply by the missing one.
Alright, the common denominator is x minus 8 times x minus 4. So the first fraction is missing x minus 4 in the top and in the bottom. The second fraction is missing
X minus 8.
x minus 8 in the top and in the bottom.
And multiply the right side by 1.
The third fraction is fine, multiplied by 1. And when all your fractions have common denominator, you can multiply by that denominator, assuming it's not 0. And that will eliminate all the denominators, so now you get an equation that has no denominators, and it is x minus 4 minus 2x minus 8 equals negative 3x plus 56. And do you see this lovely negative sign? You will forget to distribute it, so make sure you write it so that you can see it. Don't distribute before it's time to distribute. Distribute after you don't have denominators. Alright, so let's distribute. X squared minus 4x minus 2x plus 16. Bring everything to the left.
Plus 3x minus 56.
Plus 3x minus 56 equal to 0. X squared negative 6x plus 3x negative 3x, and plus 16 minus 56 minus 40.
Now AC method.
AC method. AC is negative 40.
8 and 5. Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Negative 8 and positive 5 are my two numbers. So this is negative 8 and positive 5. So when is this equation equal to 0? Okay, first of all, you are solving equal to 0. So that's another very tricky thing. For the domain, you want to make sure the denominators are not 0. But to solve the equation, you are actually solving it equal to 0. Because you followed the steps. You brought everything to the left, you factored the left, and then you set it equal to 0. So, x minus 8 equals to 0 means that x is equal to 8. And x plus 5 equals to 0 means that x is equal to negative 5. However, good, 8 is not a valid value. So 8 cannot be a solution. It is a solution for the blue equation that didn't have denominators, but it is not a solution for the rational equation. When you multiplied by the least common denominator to eliminate the denominators, you told me that that denominator is not 0, which means that x is not 8. So, x equals to 8 is not a solution, and the only solution is x equal to negative 5. You can plug it into the original equation and test it. I will ask you for the solution set. You are going to say brace negative 5.